So this should work. Hello everyone, I am X the Turtle 69 here, back with a brand new video, and today guys, I am covering the issue of the input lag in Splatoon 3's gear menu, because that is a comment that I had. Now, for this issue began as a disconnection issue. It basically lagged so hard it disconnected. The disconnection issue was fixed by doing the controller equivalent of, have you tried turning it off and on again, or basically unpowering it and repowering it again. For controllers, that is disconnecting it via going to settings, by going to settings, controllers and sensors, disconnect all controllers, and then reconnecting the controller. So that was fixed, but then the input lag started to happen, so I went and dug into it, and while I waited for this said commenter, by the way, shout out to you, you know who you are. Sorry I forgot, but but for like the IT support, full IT support video, I'll be definitely adding your name. But yeah, anyway though, so if you're having the same issues, I have the answer, but you might not like it, because it's not a controller issue. Thankfully, it's also not a system issue. So I went experimenting, and I found no other game that had the controller stuff. Now, it was not in any Wi-Fi, so I didn't think to check any Wi-Fi related stuff. I more recently got back to Wi-Fi. I was on a trip with my father for the past few days, and it finally dawned on me what the issue was. You see, the thing is, I kept on thinking that the issue was a controller issue, but then one day when I was playing Subnautica, I decided to check the eShop, as I sometimes do, and I was doing normal eShop things, basically dealing with its horrible input lag that it has, and then I realized, wait, input lag on this controller, and that's when it finally clicked for me. You see, this is too specific to be a controller or console issue, because if it was if it was a controller issue, then it would have issues on every console, and I've tested it on my friend's console and on my computer and on actually a few friends' consoles, and it has never had any issues with input lag. So it can't be a controller issue. It also, at least for me, wasn't a console issue, because it should be giving input lag on everything. But what if it's not input lag? What if it's just the game being slow to render and load and deload the information that it normally does in the gear select menu? So, enough stalling. The answer to the issue of the input lag issue with Splatoon 3's gear select, is that it's a game issue. Not only that, it's a Nintendo server issue. How do I know this? Well, it's very, very simple. Splatoon is a Nintendo brand game. It runs off of Nintendo servers. Splatoon, since it runs off of Nintendo servers, has the same issues as Nintendo servers do, which are notorious for being really, really bad. I also tested this a bit on Smash with the Smash Online stuff, with everything that would have input lag, and it had input lag. So, what am I trying to get at? You might be asking. Well, your controller doesn't have input lag. At least from what I've been informed of. It's not an input lag issue. It is a controller being it's a server issue. Yeah. Hope this helps. How do you fix it? Uh, you could use handheld mode because that sometimes helps. You could also try to run it off of a private VPN. And finally, you could try to use it in wired mode. But other than that, there's no fix. It's a Nintendo server issue. But just know that, at least from what I've been informed of, it really just seems like it's a controller issue. So yeah, here we go. If you found this video helpful or entertaining in any way, shape, or form, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It always helps. It helps the channel big time. And if I ever do get monetized on this channel, all the money will go back into making this channel the best that it can be. Feel free to comment. Actually, I encourage you to comment down below issues, video suggestions, whatever. I read every single comment. I promise. That's why a lot of these videos are actually dedicated to comments. I read all the comments. And most likely I'll try to respond to you guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. Remember that I do this for fun, and I do this for fun, and also because I want there to be information about this controller where, people want them to. So yeah. But with that being said, have a good day, and see you.